All Finland was agog with the news of the forthcoming celebrity wedding. It was to be held in the palace of the Witch and Wizard of the North, and all of Finnish high society was invited. All the tango royals, all the Big Brother housemates, all the finalists from Finland's Got Talent, everybody who was anybody would be there, except one. "My invitation must have got lost in the post," said Lemminkäinen to his mother. "Heat up the sauna and get me my best shirt, and I'll go there anyway." "Don't go, son," pleaded his mother. "Just read about it in next week's Seiska. Those northerners don't like you. In fact, they said they never wanted to see your face again." "Oh, they love me really, Mum," said Lemminkäinen. "They've just got a funny way of showing it." So he went in the sauna and thrashed himself with birch twigs while his mother ironed his best shirt. He hitched up his horse to his sleigh and sped over the snow-covered ground to the north. By the time he reached the witch's palace, the feast had ended, the plates had been cleared away, and the celebrity guests were chatting while they waited for the band to set up. They all fell silent when Lemminkäinen strode into the hall. "I'm here," shouted Lemminkäinen gaily. "The festivities can start now." Nobody said anything. "Come on, somebody take my horse to the stable and give him your best oats," said Lemminkäinen, "and get me something to eat as well." "We ate hours ago," said the Witch of the North. "There isn't anything left." "In a place like this," said Lemminkäinen, "there must be something." The witch sighed. She summoned the waitress. "Bring him something to eat," she said. The waitress looked at Lemminkäinen scornfully. "Who, him?" she said. "Yes, him," said the witch. The waitress strode into the kitchen, her nose in the air. She got the dirtiest, most chipped plate, spat on it, and wiped it on her knickers. She dug in the rubbish bin and found some fish heads, some bones the dog had chewed, and some turnip stalks. She flung these onto a plate, added a rock-hard bread roll, and slammed it down in front of Lemminkäinen. "Don't I get a drink with that?" he asked. The waitress fetched a cracked glass of stale, muddy-looking beer. Lemminkäinen picked it up and looked at it. He could see something wriggling at the bottom. "This is disgusting," he said. "There's a worm in it." "Well, you can pretend it's tequila, can't you?" retorted the waitress, and strode back into the kitchen. The Wizard of the North looked at Lemminkäinen. "Who invited you anyway?" he asked. "Nobody really," said Lemminkäinen. "I just thought I'd come." "Well, why don't you just think again and go?" said the wizard. Lemminkäinen stood up. "I'm starting to get annoyed with you lot," he said. "Anyone would think you didn't want me here." The wizard stood up, his face angry. "We don't," he said. "Now are you going or not?" He drew his sword. Lemminkäinen had a sword too. He drew it and faced the wizard. "Not," he said. The wizard waggled his sword at Lemminkäinen. Lemminkäinen waggled his sword at the wizard. "Yours is bigger than mine," he remarked uncharacteristically. The two rushed at each other, their swords crashing. The celebrities screamed as Lemminkäinen and the wizard circled one another, slashing with their swords. Suddenly, as quickly as it had started, the fight was over. Lemminkäinen gazed in horror at the wizard on the floor, with blood on his shirt. Was he dead? He suddenly became aware of the celebrities gazing in equal horror at him. He ran from the palace, jumped into his sleigh, and raced home. "Oh, Mum, I'm in terrible trouble," he gasped. "What have you done this time?" asked his mother. "Did you tell your disgusting joke about the elk and the ice hockey player?" "Worse," moaned Lemminkäinen. "Did you try to snog the matron of honour?" even worse. What then? Lemminkäinen told the whole sorry story. His mother put her head in her hands. "There's only one thing for it," she said. "You'll have to hide on that island, the one where your father holed out when he got into trouble. Stay there until the whole thing blows over." So his mother gave Lemminkäinen the sat-nav coordinates of the island, and he sailed away in his boat. He sailed through the many lakes and rivers of Finland, past the forests, miles from any town, and eventually came to the island in the middle of a lake, far from any other human habitation. He pulled his boat up onto the beach, and the inhabitants of the island came to look at him. All of them were women, all of them extremely beautiful. "Hello," he said. "My name's Lemminkäinen. Could I stay here for a while?" "Don't see why not," said the plumpest, prettiest and blondest of the women. So Lemminkäinen set up home on the island and soon made friends with all the ladies there. In fact, they became very good friends, so friendly that a poem was written about them. There was not a single village where he did not find 10 homesteads. There was not a single homestead where he did not find 10 maidens. There was not a single maiden by whose side he did not stretch him, in whose arms he did not nestle. Ah, isn't that romantic? But one day, on his way to visit his latest girlfriend, Lemminkäinen noticed a huge man wearing armour and carrying a sword. In fact, not just one. Men just like him were all over the place. "Who are all these big ugly blokes who have suddenly turned up?" he asked his girlfriend. "They're our husbands," she responded brightly. "They've just come back from manoeuvres with a territorial army. Would you like us to introduce you? You can tell them how you kept us entertained while they've been away." "Perhaps another time," said Lemminkäinen. He ran to his boat, pushed it into the sea, leapt in and hoisted the sail. When he got home, he had a nasty feeling things were not right. Everything was in silence. Where the house should have been, there was only bare earth, with a few bushes starting to grow there. Lemminkäinen started to panic. "Mum! Mum! Where are you, Mum?" he yelled. Utter silence was the answer. With tears running down his cheeks, he rushed about, not knowing where he was going. Eventually he stumbled on the old sauna, which was still standing. He opened the door. His mother was there. "Mum," he sobbed. "What happened?" "It was terrible, Lemmy," said his mother. "The Northerners came looking for you, and they burnt the house down. I managed to escape and hid in here." "Well, that does it," said Lemminkäinen. "I'm going back there and sort out these Northerners once and for all." "No, please don't," begged his mother. "Let's just rebuild the house and put all this behind us. You can't attack the Northerners all by yourself anyway." "I won't be by myself," said Lemminkäinen. "I'll take my friend Terry with me." "Oh, not Terry. Please not him," cried his mother. "He's an even bigger twit than you." Lemminkäinen took no notice and was soon banging on Terry's door. Terry's mother opened it. "Go away," she said. "Don't be like that," said Lemminkäinen. "I've come to see Terry." "Well, you can't," said Terry's mother. "He's got more important things to do than talk to you. He's just got married. She's a lovely girl, a virgin. He hasn't even touched her bosom yet." "Too much information, missus," said Lemminkäinen and pushed his way into the house. "Terry, are you there?" He told Terry the whole story. "So I was wondering if you'd like to come with me and destroy the northern menace once and for all," he said. "But your mother tells me about your wife, and—" "Oh, never mind about that. There's plenty of time for that soppy stuff later," said Terry. "Let's go." So Lemminkäinen and Terry jumped into their boat and headed north. It was midwinter, which is not a good time to invade northern Finland. The lakes froze over and they had to abandon the boat and trudge ahead on foot. Snow was thick on the ground and the Northlands utterly deserted. "Well, where are they?" asked Lemminkäinen through chattering teeth. "What happened to the northern hordes?" "They're probably nice and snug behind their quadruple glazing, watching Kauniit ja rohkeat," replied Terry. Tears came to his eyes. "And we could freeze to death out here and nobody would ever know. And I can't even ring my mother because you can't get a signal here." "My mother told me to wear my woolly vest," sobbed Lemminkäinen. "And I didn't, and I'm so cold. What sort of sons are we to let our mothers worry about us?" "I think we ought to go home," said Terry. So they did. The end.